Hey there, Nick Lee here from Pragmatic Works, coming at you again with another video all about Power BI. This time we're going to hang out in the Power BI service. What we're going to be talking about today is visiting the admin portal and seeing what are the top 5 most important settings to disable on your admin portal. Now I know many of you that are watching this video may not need or have access to the admin portal, but even if you're not an admin in the Power BI tenant, it would be nice to know some of these settings that exist. So maybe if you do see you have the capability of doing them, maybe you should talk to your Power BI admins about that and see what we could do about it. So the 5th most important setting that needs to be disabled on your tenant is users can invite guest users to have access to your tenant. Well, what does this mean exactly? Well, let's kind of dive into it real quick. So I'm going to search for the word guest up here in the filter down here. And this is what it says. Users can invite guest users to collaborate through item sharing and permissions. So there's a little dirty little button here in Power BI called the share button. And the share button does a lot of things and it's very versatile. But the problem is in your Power BI tenant, there are many things that you probably don't want to happen. So the first thing is this. Users can invite guest users to collaborate through item sharing and permissions. What this will do is if a user from your organization has access to this and they share this with a user from another organization, now suddenly that user is a member of your tenant. They have a guest account in your Microsoft Entra ID, and now they can see that item. Now, that's not the most dangerous thing in the world, and a lot of times it is useful to have this type of scenario available to you. And, you know, if you're working with a third-party vendor or a contractor that needs to have access to your tenant, but they're technically not part of your organization, this would be good to enable. So what I recommend is not enabling this for the entire organization, but specifically for specific security groups. Now this one, maybe make it Power BI admins are the ones that can do this, because then a ticket might be submitted like, hey, can you share this item with this person from this email, with this email address from this organization? That'll really help dial in and be a lot more secure of managing your Power BI environment. So the 4th most important setting that needs to be disabled is one that allows access to go for everyone in your organization. Now, this is what is dangerous. That share button, once again, causing problems. So let me just pull that up here. I just started searching for the word shareable, and here it is. Allow shareable links to grant access to everyone in your organization. What this does, it says, all right, well, I have access to this report. I'm gonna share this link with my colleague because I want them to view it. Well, then that colleague can say, oh, this link is great. This Power BI report is awesome. I'm gonna share this link with someone else. And then that person could share this link with someone else. And that person could share this link with someone else. Well, if you're the original report creator or you're the data set or the semantic model owner, typically speaking, if you're sharing items in the Power BI service, you're explicitly sharing with specific people, and it shouldn't just be whoever you want to send it to, you can send it to. So this is another one of those things that, you know, is good to disable, but you could also put this one for specific security groups, such as, you know, members of your Center of Excellence if you have one, your Power BI super users, business leaders, subject matter experts, you know, team leaders, whatever it may be. Yes, there may be a use case where you would want this enabled, but for most cases, I would highly recommend just having this disabled, because it becomes a dangerous object for people to be able to share around to departments that they shouldn't share around to. The 3rd most important one to disable is users can work with semantic models in Excel using a live connection. What this does is allows someone to build essentially a pivot table off of the existing semantic model that the Power BI report is coming from. Now, the reason why that's dangerous is they have access to the semantic model, and maybe you just want to have specific visuals showing specific data in them. And you don't want them to start exploring this data, finding answers to questions that you don't want them to have. There are some security settings that go along with that. But that being said, once again, that this is not something you want to give people freedom to do unless they have specific access to do so. With the asterisk on this one, though, is that you must be a contributor or member level to be able to have this availability to work with a semantic model in a pivot table. But just know that it can be a potential problem. Users can start exploring data around, maybe sniffing into things that you don't want them to see just because it was included in the model. The second most important setting you should disable is an option to download reports. So this one is huge, and it even piggybacks off of the last one. So what this one does is allows your users in your organization to download PBIX files. Now here's where that becomes so dangerous. Well, first off, you must be a contributor or member level of a workspace to be able to download this file. That being said, just because someone's a contributor or a member and they may have some edit access to be able to modify things in the Power BI service here, doing this is really dangerous. And let me explain why. If you utilize row level security, which limits access to specific, descriptions or dimensions or demographics, whatever it may be. If you use row level security in any capacity, row level security is implemented inside the Power BI service. That means that as soon as someone hits download report, then that PBIX file goes directly to their local machine. If it's on their local machine, they're no longer in the Power BI service. Now, any row level security that's been applied, gone. None of it. So if you are a manager of the Northeast region and you're only supposed to see the Northeast region of the US and you download this file, now you can see every region, every single region, because you no longer have that row level security implementation. Extremely dangerous. I would definitely have this disabled, or once again, maybe for specific security groups that are allowed to do this. So guys, before we get to the last one, I want to talk about one thing real quick, and that is this awesome discount code that I have available for you guys. If you want to learn more about Power BI or anything in the Azure or Microsoft space, and even more like CompTIA, you want a full training platform with over 100 courses and hundreds of hours to be able to brush up your skills, check out prag.works/Nick40. That code will get you right there at 40% discount on our yearly subscription to our website, to our on-demand learning platform, and it is awesome. Also on our on-demand learning platform, we release these CertXP courses. These CertXP courses are awesome. If you're going to take any type of certification that you want to really be able to master and really be prepared for, make sure you check out our CertXP platform on our website. This gets you fully prepared for any type of certification you're looking to take in this space. Now, all that being said, the number one most important setting to disable as an admin is, drumroll, publish to web. This setting is enabled by default for some reason. I do not know why, but it is atrocious. Okay? What this setting does is it allows your users to pick an option to publish to web. What this does, it creates essentially two things. One, a website link, and two, an embed code. And because this has been created, now there is a website link that exists on the internet that is hypothetically accessible by anyone in the world of the report that's currently being shown. I mean, we are talking bypassing every security measure you could possibly imagine if someone does this. Now, there is a use case for this. It is rare. It is not very common. For instance, a good one, a lot of our customers, when they were during the COVID boom, there was a lot of COVID reports that were being created by these healthcare organizations. They were utilizing publish to web to publish these Power BI reports that showed COVID all over the world, and it was really cool. And that's just a really good example of why you would use something like that. Or maybe your local government and you have a website that you want everyone in your county to see. But in most cases, publish to web is extremely, extremely dangerous. make sure you disable this setting. It is of the utmost importance. And even if you would have a reason to make public access to some of your reports, make sure it's only specific security groups. Do not let this open for everyone in your organization to be able to publish to the web, to have this Power BI report available to literally anyone in the world. So you definitely don't want to do that. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about the top 5 settings that you need to disable in your Power BI tenant if you are an admin. Make sure you tune in to future videos. Once again, my name's Nick. See you next time.